How would your parents describe what you do for a living?
They don't understand that my job isn't a traditional job. So my mum always says she works at a university, but I don't know what she does. They say she does. They probably say she does marketing, but it's not what I do. Mum would say not married yet. No matter what you achieve, she's not married yet.
What's your go-to order at your favorite hometown restaurant?
I don't have a go-to order because I like trying new things all the time. And I don't go to the same places. I like exploring. I never stick to kind of what I like. So in general, I liked a lot of Thai food because I used to live in Thailand. I used to volunteer there. But yeah, I try a lot of different places and new dishes very often. I'm vegetarian though, so as creative as I can get within that limitation.
What's the best advice you've ever been given?
You know, I was actually at this event with I think the CEO of ANZ Bank, Elliot, I forget his surname, or Steve, I forget his full name, but CEO of one of the major banks, he spoke. And he said something that always stuck with me, which was that don't follow companies, follow people, in the sense that we get distracted with big brands and to work with big brands. But the reality is, you're going to be working with and for someone, you know? And so you should really pick someone that you respect, that respects you, that you can learn off, that you can grow with, and that has your back, because life's too short to work around people that don't treat you well, you know? I know not everyone has the privilege to choose, but often, especially young people, we really underestimate what we bring to the table, and often we let people treat us poorly because we feel like they're superior to us. So I felt like you just said, you know, that follow people, not organizations. Too many people know all the companies they'd like to work at. Too few people know a single name of a leader at the company that they want to work with. Not necessarily CEO, because it's not like at big companies you're going to work with them, but just the leader of the manager they're going to work with. I'm always surprised when people take a job and they haven't even really asked a lot of questions about their immediate team they're working with, because that's what defines your entire experience. So I thought that was really good advice, to follow people, not companies. Yeah.
What's the best decision you've ever made?
I'll be honest, for me, it was I have traveled a lot, but I never traveled like in a traditional sense. So I didn't travel just for a holiday. At 17, I went on exchange to Spain for 5 months, and I had to learn Spanish fluently because I was in a little village there, which is all unexpected. I thought I'd be in a city. And then at 19, I moved to Thailand to help mainly actually Pakistani refugees as part of a program with Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. I learned a lot. I thought that working in the human rights sector was my dream job. I learned that I actually liked micro entrepreneurship, and I wouldn't have known that had I not have gone there. And then at 21, I went to Tanzania. And I stayed there for 2.5 months volunteering for a girl called Krupa Patel, who was a young entrepreneur who built one of East Africa's largest social impact hubs. She'd never been to university. So I think those 3 experiences of going abroad with intention to volunteer or to intern, they broadened my perspective. They increased my resilience so much. You know, it wasn't all rosy and pretty. It was hard. I cried myself to sleep sometimes, but I think it gave me a lot of resilience, a lot of perspective of how different people live. And everywhere I went for internships and volunteering, I stayed long enough to like try and pick up the local language, learn how the locals live. And I always traveled like the locals and spent my time like the locals. So it really helped me get that perspective and having a nuanced perspective of how different people in the world live.
What's the worst decision you've ever made then?
Okay, I'll be honest. I think I've wasted a lot of time with boys that, you know, dating, that I probably, especially emotionally investing, giving a lot. And I just thought, I'll be honest, none of it's wasted time, because even if you learn to discern what's a better way to spend your time, even if it comes from any investment in your life, whether it's relationships or dating, I find even if the only thing you learned was how to better discern your next investment, you've learned something. So I don't want to say it was the worst decision, but I think I spent a lot of time thinking about boys because I thought it was important to find a soulmate, to have a relationship. So I think I've kind of let go of that notion. It's not like I've given up and it's sad. I'm the happiest I've ever been. I'm very content, but I'm no longer chasing it in a partner. Like I've just realized it's my own, I've got to fill my own cup, and then things just happen naturally. And I think I was looking for what I thought was love, but was really attachment and expectations and romantic ideas of love that were fed to me that weren't really mine as I navigated that. So that's probably, not like the worst, but I could have made better decisions in that regard. I've wasted a fair bit of time.
Couldn't we all?